Well, Light, it's all over.
Hello guys, welcome back to my reaction channel. Today we're going to be reacting to Death Note episode 8. Now guys, the last episode was utter insanity, okay? The way they made a conversation into action. I was literally sweating as I was listening to Light's thoughts and the way he tries to manipulate her and twists her own words and actions, like, you know, to make her feel comfortable enough to tell him everything and extract all the information he needs to form a decision whether to kill her off or not. And in the end, it looks like he did manage in the symbolism in the end, man, with a, you know, hanging rope and her climbing the stairs. And he even tested it out. He's like, my father, he's free now. You want to talk to him? She's like, no, I've got nothing to say to him. And it looks like she was already dead, pretty much. Like the Death Note took over and she just kept repeating, I have something to do, I have something to do. And I assume that's the suicide that he wrote down will happen after 10 seconds of writing. Come on, man, it's just, that's too much power for one individual. And I gotta be honest, I'm sad that she's gone. She was very perceptive. I would have really liked to see her and L like together, giving Light some trouble. But I guess L is just gonna have to do for now, and the task force, of course. That guy like walked past them and didn't even notice Light or the girl, and that's just sad, guys. So yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm really excited to see now what's next. What's next? Because I thought this girl was gonna be a tremendous obstacle for Light to overcome, but looks like he overcame it in one episode. So let's jump right into this, guys. But before we do, if you enjoy my reactions, feel free to share, subscribe, like, leave a comment, ring that bell for notifications, guys. Follow me on Instagram, join my Discord server, join my Patreon page, and let's jump right into this reaction. Let's go. But I'm gonna fast forward because I don't want to get copy claim or strike problems. So we're gonna be jumping right into the episode, but I just have to hear the opening act of the opening because that's where all the action is. And still love the symbolism where Light bites the apple and, you know, Shinigami and everything. Amazing. So the title of this episode is apparently Glare. So let's see. Who's glaring?
That was footage from surveillance cameras at the station. The death of one of the FBI agents is captured on here.
Let's see the following scenes again. Ray Penber passing the ticket gate on his way in, then him boarding the train, and finally the part where he dies on the platform.
Okay.
Ray Penber comes through the west entrance of Shinjuku Station at 3:11 p.m. Then at 3:13 he boards a train on the Yamanote line. But even if he was following someone at that time, I think it's going to be very difficult for us to draw any real conclusions from this blurry video. Thank you very much.
They all seem very tired, like barely managing to stay awake. So I'm guessing they've been working non-stop. And I also like the scoops that he scooped the ice cream with. That's how I eat my ice cream as well. And it's probably because Watari is used to L loving sugar, because we saw him pour like a lot of sugar in that cup that he was drinking in the last episode. So yeah, I'm assuming that's why he has ice cream on hand and sweets, because L is that sort of a guy, and I like it. I love it.
It's quite strange, don't you think?
I'm sorry, what do you find strange?
There's the envelope.
What do you mean?
He left the envelope up.
He's holding what looks like an envelope when he passes through the ticket gate.
Huh? You're right. It's there under his arm. But in the footage right before his death, it's gone.
Yeah.
I can't believe you actually caught that.
Because he left it, because Light made him leave it. Okay, L is so perceptive. I am telling you. Imagine if they get a glimpse of Light in the near proximity from one of the cameras. that would be a wrap for Light, man. And his father would also be like in a very difficult position because his son would be accused and he would have to defend his son, not knowing that he is Kira. So,
Well, I don't see an envelope on this list of his personal effects.
Which means it was left on the
Yep.
train. Wouldn't it be interesting if Kira was on that train?
That's impossible.
Maybe he was counting on us to make that assumption and figured he could get away with such a bold move.
is it just me or is El really weird sometimes? But he is smart. I have to give him that. That is one hell of a theory, okay? And it just so happens to be right. So are they gonna have a camera angle that can see who was standing above Ray Pember's body just before he died? Because Light is gonna be in some serious trouble if they caught him on camera. But I'm assuming he took all the necessary precautions for that not to happen. So he's still one step ahead of them.
What's going on with you, Light? You haven't stopped writing criminals' names in the death note for 4 days straight, so what are you trying to
Damn.
prove? I don't see the point in writing these names weeks in advance. I've never seen the death note used like this.
Consider it insurance. Suppose the son of the detective superintendent of the NPA was hospitalized. If criminals stopped dying at the same time, it wouldn't be difficult to connect the two. I really can't count on you, can I?
You got that right.
He's not here to help you. He's here to enjoy the show.
Ray Pember's fiancée, Naomi Misora. Heard that name before.
He did recognize her.
So it's her. She's from the Los Angeles baby murder case, that's right. Well, apparently she's been missing since the day after her fiancé died.
I'm sure that anyone in her situation would be pretty depressed. Was it?
Okay, now they're like the normal folks of this task force are leaning in and thinking just like Light predicted. But will Al take the same course? I think not, because like that girl, Ray Pember's wife said, they're very similar. Like there's a strange feeling that resembles Al in Light and vice versa. So that's very, like, I don't think Al is gonna fall for that. But see, what Light did here, all they have to do is deduce that she was in a task force at a certain time, and they're probably gonna get that information considering she was at the desk asking for Al and the task force. So all they need to do is find a camera that shows that Light was with her the last time she was seen, and voila, we have Kira. Okay, I see where this is going, like everything with the cameras in the beginning of the episode not leading anywhere except the envelope and it being strange. And now if they implement cameras again, only this time, did Light consider that? Okay, because he had no time to consider that. He was too busy trying to get a name out of this woman that was seemingly so smart and cautious that, you know, she even made him sweat. So this is...
No, the Naomi Misora I knew was strong. It's more likely she'd be trying to catch Kira. If that's the case, did Kira manage to get to her
See?
first?
This kid.
Everyone, at this point I'd like to focus our investigation on only those people who Ray Pember was tailing.
Very well. Who are these two individuals he was investigating?
Deputy Director Kitamura, along with Detective Superintendent Yagami and their families.
And now his son has been caught. He's one of the main suspects. And he wants to focus on those two guys that Ray Pember was surveilling. Because yes, it is hella suspicious that she's missing now. You know? He recognized her right away, which means she was a capable FBI agent while she was working under him. So this is very troublesome for Light. And look at the expression in his dad's face. He's like, my son? No way. Because every parent would think like that. But you gotta ask yourself, do you really know your kid? That's... damn.
At this stage, I'd like to place wiretaps and surveillance cameras in both households.
Ooh, that's...
I have to make sure there's no...
pretty sure that's against the law, but I guess if he has the permission of his dad... I mean, if his dad thinks that his son is innocent, why wouldn't he? I mean, even if he thinks he's not innocent, if he's a real police officer, okay, that's another morality question. But if he thinks his son is innocent, if he's sure about it, then why not put surveillance cameras in the house? Of course, he has a young daughter and his wife over there, and they're gonna be surveilled 24/7 even when they're on the potty. So that's kind of, against a whole lot of laws and rights. But I guess it is the only way to find out. And it's gonna severely restrict Light's movements in the house. He's not gonna be able to do anything in his room. Well, I guess it all depends where they're gonna put the cameras and if they're gonna get permission from the father to put them. But this is an interesting development. Like, he went from no suspect to the main suspect like that. That's how you know that Al is smart, man.
No evidence left on this computer, just in case someone goes through it.
I don't see how you could even consider this. If this got out, we'd have a civil rights scandal on our hands. We'd all lose our jobs.
You told me you'd be willing to risk your lives for this investigation, but you wouldn't risk your jobs?
Ryuzaki,
true.
what are the odds that Kira's in one of those households?
Maybe 10%. No, it's closer to 5%.
Seriously? I'm sorry, but it's not worth the
I'm
risk.
sorry, but what I heard was there's a 5% chance that an uncatchable killer is in one of those households. I think that's worth pursuing, because this is the first real clue, real life suspect we've gotten so far. So, like 5%, 1%, if there's a chance, they have to look into it, because...
No. Of all the people we've investigated so far, not one of them seemed even the least bit suspicious.
Exactly.
Even if there's only a 1% chance, we simply can't afford...
Exactly!
I don't have to tell you how offended I am to learn my family is under suspicion. Having said that, just go ahead with it.
I knew it.
And make sure you install them everywhere. I don't want any blind spots in the house, and that includes the bathroom.
Thank you very much. That was my intention.
Yep, I knew it. Like, if you're gonna surveil, you gotta surveil everything. That's why I said they're all gonna be on a party and they're gonna be on camera. So that, but I guess if L is the only one looking at it, then again, L is weird and they have a daughter. But it's just, it has to be done. And this guy does look prideful, and I'm sure he's sure that his son is not the suspect, or so, or his daughter, like his kids, there's no way. Maybe his wife, but he is sure his family is not the family that they're looking for. That's why he granted access. But then now you see, what is Light gonna do?
Come on, Chief, you don't have to agree to this. No, I suggest you keep quiet.
Yeah, he's on the edge after this.
As a courtesy to the chief and his family, only he and I will conduct surveillance of their...
Like I said, restrict the access of the footage. But then again, like I said, that's pretty weird. So I don't know if I would grant him access to my daughter, but okay.
What? No one's home yet.
So they're gonna put wires in his house? They already did it?
I'm home.
Ooh, that's a smart move. They did it while he was in school, and they didn't tell him. Of course they're not gonna tell him, man. So now... Oh, he's gonna get caught. He's gonna get caught. There's no way he's gonna notice hidden cameras around the house if you're not even suspecting. Like, those are rights violations. He would have never even he doesn't even know he's a suspect at this point. That's it for him, man. He's gonna do something hella suspicious as soon as he walks in the room. What?
How's it going? I don't think anyone else is in the house right now. Do you want to play some video games? Come on, it's been a while. You listening?
Okay, I'm sorry. There's no way. There's no way this man figured something's wrong. And what was that piece of paper in his door when he opened? Because the way he's behaving, it's almost as if he knows he's being watched and that he doesn't, he can't answer Ryuk because it would be on the footage. But there's no way this kid is so perceptive. Come on, man. He just entered the house and he just happened to, what does he have, a sixth sense?
Hey, Light.
Yeah, he's ignoring him.
don't believe it. I never knew he went to such great lengths. What could he be hiding in there that he doesn't want anyone else to see?
For a 17-year-old kid, I wouldn't say this kind of behavior is particularly abnormal. When I was his age, I did strange things too. Have you ever talked to your son about the investigation?
Of course not. I've never once revealed classified information to my family.
See?
Besides, I don't get to see them too often these days, and usually as soon as I get home, all I can do is sleep.
I understand.
Where exactly are we going?
And are you really telling me that it's not suspicious when you put a piece of paper in your door so you know every time somebody opened your door? But the piece of paper was there, so there's no way he would have figured anything out by looking at that, because the piece of paper was like in the door, right? Maybe if they didn't, like, I don't know, they probably returned it, they noticed it and returned it, but maybe they missed the spot because this guy is like precise, so maybe that's how he knew. But Al saying like it's not so abnormal for a young teenager to do this. Yeah, it's not normal. Like, it's suspicious as hell, man. I didn't like used to. Okay, never mind. But okay, I guess I get it. I get it. But like I said, Al's weird. He just admitted
Lights,
himself.
don't ignore me when I'm talking to you or I'll get mad.
Listen to me. There's a very strong possibility that there are wiretaps and maybe surveillance cameras hidden throughout my house.
Really? But that piece of paper was still in your door, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
exactly. How, man? How are you so perceptive? He literally figured out that his house is bugged and surveilled the first day. And he even checked himself whether his clothes were bugged, so he's able to talk to him or not. Come on.
That's true, but I left the paper in the door in a way that it would be obvious to anyone entering the room. The real test is the handle.
It is?
What?
When that door is closed, the door handle automatically returns to a horizontal position and it won't go any higher than that. But whenever I close the door, I adjust it slightly. Instead of letting it sit horizontally, I lower it by about 5 millimeters. I put a mechanical pencil lead in place as well.
What?
So what do you do with it?
It goes on the hinge. After I close the door, I take the pencil lead and rest it on the hinge in such a way that it will break if the door happens to be opened by anyone. When I got home from school today, I noticed that the pencil lead was broken.
Now that you mention it, I do remember that.
Wait a minute. They noticed a piece of paper and returned it. Probably didn't notice a pencil was broken? What? But to go to such lengths, I mean, I get it. He has the death note in there, right? So he needs to keep it safe from intruders and everybody, but that's not keeping it safe. That's just... Okay, this kid is just living another life, man. Literally, like how... He's trapped 24/7. Like, you know, when you have a gun on you, that's basically him. He's on guard 24/7. What a life to live, man. But I guess he did choose this life. He did choose to sacrifice everything for the greater good. So now he needs to be cautious.
The door, I know someone was in there today. My family wouldn't have noticed the piece of paper. What's suspicious is that someone took the time to put it back in the door.
Exactly.
Are you buying a book about wiretaps and surveillance?
By the way, Ryuk, what about your apples?
Apples? That's right, surveillance cameras. Once the apple's in my mouth, no one can see it. But while I'm holding it, it looks like it's floating.
I thought so. You told me that Shinigami can't die, so I guess it won't kill you to stop eating apples for a while.
Don't you think that's a bit much? Come on. I never told you this, but apples are to me what cigarettes and alcohol are to humans. Do you see what I'm saying? I even get withdrawal
He's
symptoms.
addicted?
Oh yeah? What kind of symptoms?
My body gets all twisted. I do handstands. It's not pretty.
I don't need to see that.
I know.
Okay, here's the thing. Unfortunately, I already gave Elle the hint that Shinigami love apples, so I just can't afford to take the risk.
Oh my god, the way they brought that back full circle, that's right! So this Ryuk can't eat apples anymore? So basically this whole situation is heavier on Ryuk than it is on Light. But what did he buy, by the way? A book? Interesting. That, like, knowing that he's being surveilled and one of the main suspects, like, why else would they go to such lengths? And the first thing he does is go to a bookstore? What? You know, it's kind of... okay, I guess. But Ryuk saying that he has withdrawal symptoms, like, you know, when us people smoke or drink, and if we, you know, man, that's just... And yeah, if he eats an apple, it levitates, so the camera is gonna catch it and...
When did you...
If it's so important for you to eat apples, you'll have to find out where all the cameras are hidden. If you're lucky, you might find a blind spot where you can eat them without being seen.
And,
Sounds so interesting.
and in doing so, he's also gonna find a blind spot for Light to do his work. Get it? So that's very smart, and yes, it does seem convenient to have a Shinigami on your hands to search for the camera since he can't be seen. And he also found a very interesting way of making him motivated to do so, because he doesn't have to listen to Light. But this way, you know, actually, why is he listening to Light? Like, he can eat apples, so who cares if they see an apple floating? Like, you know, does Ryuk really care? Like, is there a rule that humans cannot find out about Shinigami? If that was a rule, then he should be able to give the death note to humans. So, okay, explain in the comments about that. But yeah, it looks like Ryuk is going to great lengths to not let anybody... Well, I guess it would ruin their, like, his fun if people found out that Light is Kira. So this is all very interesting, guys. I really wasn't expecting the story to go this way. This is really in-depth and analytical, and the whole action sequences are based on L and Light topping one another, and it's amazing. It's very unique. A person can shorten his own lifespan by using a note. The human who becomes the owner of that note can exchange half of her life for the eyeballs. Okay, we know this basic stuff. Stop! What? How are you just gonna show me that? I was like, what did what? What happened to my laptop for a second? Like, what am I watching? What is he doing? Okay.
Oh, I have to find the cameras.
I can't believe my son is looking at those magazines.
It's normal for a 17-year-old. But it seems contrived. It's too obvious. The only reason he didn't want anyone in his room was because he had his magazines. That's what he wants us to think.
Hey,
Oh my god, that's his alibi for having such restrictions on his door? He has pervy magazines in his room because he's a teenager? Are you... Are you kidding me? I'm gonna fucking... I'm gonna get a like, come on, man. Come on. Are you serious? That's actually smart. Okay, that's actually smart, because Al has been pointing that out, like, he's a teenager. It's not unnormal behavior. Like, it's okay. But at the same time, he just said, like, that's what he wants us to believe, you know? And
that's my son you're talking
yeah,
about.
he's gonna have something
Are
to
you
say
honestly
about that.
telling me that you suspect him?
I do suspect him. That's why I placed wiretaps and surveillance cameras in your house and the deputy director's house.
Obviously.
Given the situation, it's safer if I just assume I'm their prime suspect and the only one being watched. It'll be okay. Luckily, I prepared for this kind of situation.
Oh, so he has a collection.
Right.
Hey, Light!
Okay, it's very amazing how much ahead Light is able to think, you know, and figure out his moves. He would be amazing at chess. Amazing! We already saw that he wrote a lot of names. Like, Ryuk told him that he has been writing names for 4 days straight in order to, like, if something happens to him, like, it would be strange because the death stopped, you know, so he would be a suspect. So he wrote, like, you know, a lot of names every time ahead, so he doesn't have to worry. That's very interesting, man. And now here we see that he was prepared for this as well. He figured out in his head every scenario and prepared for it. Are you kidding? Like, and now it seems like he has a collection of magazines that he shouldn't have, and that's why he bolted the door and all that. And they're watching him, like, Al's, like, still suspicious because it's too convenient, but his dad is already starting to, like, hey, that's my son, like, you know, he might be a perv, but he's, like, no killer, like, you know? But, you know, Al was straightforward with him, at least. He was like, yeah, I do suspect him, man. That's why I put wiretaps in your house, you know? I wouldn't have gone that far if he wasn't a suspect, so get on board here, man, come on.
Come
Please contact the broadcasters and tell them to play our message.
Very well. Understood.
That's right.
What?
My parents met
Huh?
George Martin.
What's this? ICPO? They're saying that in response to the Kira murders, Interpol has decided to dispatch a force of 1,500 investigators to Japan. The investigators were drawn from the law enforcement agencies of its member nations. 1,500 investigators? Whoa.
He's trying to, get him to react, man, and he doesn't seem to be biting the bait. Damn, guys, can you see how much, between these two, they're just on another level, man. It's like me watching Shikamaru battle his dad. Like, it's amazing. I love it. I might be insulting Light at this point. Who's smarter, Light or Shikamaru? Like, I already asked this question, but I would like to see a crossover where they play chess or something, or that game Shogi. Like, I love it, man. I love it, and it's such a bold move, man. Contact the broadcasting networks to like play the message that I sent them in order, and he's watching, surveilling him, seeing like every motion, every like eyes, like anything that triggers him, because that's a lot of numbers like they're bringing in apparently. So that would like trigger anybody that's supposedly Kira. So let's see how Light reacts.
Chances are they've got cameras in the living room as well.
Yes.
Regardless of whether this news is real or not, it's obvious they're just trying to evoke reaction from me.
He caught it right away.
The ICPO sure is stupid.
Huh?
I mean, there's no point in making this announcement. If they're gonna send all these people here to investigate, shouldn't they keep it a secret? Even the FBI agents who were secretly investigating were killed by Kira. Why would this be any different? If you ask me, this is nothing more than a desperate attempt to shock Kira in the hopes that he'll reveal himself somehow. Quite frankly, I wouldn't be surprised if Kira sees right through this.
Why would he say that? He just proved to Elle that he's so intelligent that he's able to deduce in mere seconds what's going on. What the hell? Why would he put himself in such a difficult position, like for Elle to suspect him even more? If I was Elle right now, I would be like, okay, that's Kira. Go arrest him. Like, are you kidding me? Why would he do that? He literally just showed that he's so capable that he's on another level. In my eyes, he just became a sus. I mean, I know it's him, but if I was Elle, I would be 95% sure now. This was his ego.
Your son's clever, isn't he?
It's a late night snack for studying.
I found every camera they put in the house. Now let me explain where they all are.
All right, it's time for me to hit the books.
There sure are a lot.
Is he gonna write it down as he's telling them? Because he just said it's time to hit the books and he took a pen. So he's probably gonna... But are they able to see that as well, what he's writing? Maybe they can zoom in. Like, it's very... I like it. I like this. But Ryuk finding all the cameras, it's not like he can dispose all of the cameras. Maybe if they find a blind spot, that's still gonna be suspicious, because how did you find one place that you can hide from us,
A lot of cameras in this room. I counted 64 in total.
Any normal person would slip under these circumstances, but it won't be that easy with me, Elle. This.
He literally just said, any normal person would slip under these circumstances, but me? I am not normal. I am God. Come on, man. Come on, man. I love this show. I gotta go back a few seconds because I interrupted Light saying something, but let's go.
This is the closest you get.
What? Dramatically open a snack?
I've set things
Wait,
up
there's
so
a
that
camera
criminals
in
will
there as
continue
well?
to die to avoid suspicion. Elle needs to see that criminals whose names are being broadcast continue to die while I have no access to that information. In my preparations, I can continue to kill criminals whose names are broadcast on the news while masquerading as a typical high school student studying for his entrance exams.
But
just watch me, Elle.
are
I'll
you
solve
kidding
equations
me?
with my right hand and write names with my left.
He had this prepared?
After dinner, your son just goes back
He
to
had all of this prepared. Prepared. Like he put And he can see the broadcast, and they can see that he can see. And because the news is on, and he's writing names, killing off people that are currently broadcasted, and they're seeing that he's not watching the news, so how would he know? So he inadvertently is creating an alibi for himself, not being the person who's killing the people. Like, come on, man. But if he has some supernatural power to kill somebody without even touching them, why wouldn't they assume he can kill and know names without watching television? So but the fact that he is so prepared, man. At first I thought, like, when it shined, I thought there was a camera inside the potato chips. So I was like, L, are you kidding me? Like, you went that far? And that's easy to find, but no, he hid that. That's why he opened it dramatically, because that was his ace in the hole, so to speak. So he even thought of this scenario. Okay, I'm starting to believe that Light is smarter than L. Like, L is right behind him, still chasing him, but Light is not lighting up. It's damn.
Studying without turning on the TV or his computer?
It's because the entrance exams are 5 days away.
No knowledge of will die of a heart attack in 40 seconds. And the witness to my alibi is L himself.
Ryuzaki,
That is amazing.
Yes, what is it, Watari?
a few minutes ago, a bank clerk being questioned on suspicion of embezzlement and a purse snatcher being held in a detention center were broadcast on the news. They both just died of sudden, inexplicable heart attacks.
It's him again.
While all that was happening at your home, your wife and daughter were watching television. When that was over, they turned the TV off and didn't watch anything afterwards. From just past 7:30 until now, 11 o'clock, your son's done nothing but study. Kira needs a name and a face. Without those, he can't kill. So I suppose anyone who didn't watch the news can't be Kira, right?
You said it yourself. That means my family has been cleared.
True.
It doesn't make sense that Kira would kill two petty criminals right after their identities were broadcast. I know.
Yeah, literally what he just said, like a purse snatcher, and he killed him off? Really? That kind of seems convenient when you think about it, but I guess they were the only ones broadcasted at that point, which means, man, the way Al thinks, okay? He immediately didn't think like, oh yeah, he has an alibi. No, that's convenient. Why would he like go to such lengths unless he's trying to make me believe that he is not Kira, that I am not watching man.
It's only the first day after the cameras were installed, but the Yagami household seems almost too innocent to me.
Yeah.
Light, are you up yet?
It's not gonna be that easy.
Yeah, I'm awake.
That was evidence against him. He had to throw it out. That's it. Okay, guys. He just destroyed the only piece of evidence that could prove that he was Kira in that situation. But the fact that L ain't lighting up either, that's just proves how perceptive L is and how keen he is on relying on his feeling. You know, he has a feeling that something is wrong. It's too clean. It's too just in the Yagami household. So he's gonna keep watch a bit more, you know? And it can't be easy to maintain all of this from Light's side. I mean, he is hella prepared. Hella. But he is being watched by the best, by L. And he's being surveilled. Every single move he makes needs to be calculated. And he needs to be on guard and on point every step of the way. He can't forget for 1 second that he can't talk to the Shinigami. He can't, Shinigami cannot eat apples. He already began spiraling out of control, with the withdrawal symptoms. So that's hilarious, by the way. And he, he now knows all the camera angles and everything, I'm assuming, where the cameras are. And so that's how he managed to, sit and kind of cover the chips from the camera. So he's going to be able to, write down and watch at the same time. Okay. And he also paid $400 just for that little mini TV, and then he threw it away because it was evidence. So that's all smart on Light's part, but Al is not giving up that easily. This would be enough for normal people, for his dad and normal, but not for Al. Okay, he's the big guns. So that's very interesting how they both aren't considered normal, and are behaving normally. They're all They're both abnormal, man, and that's what makes them amazing. That's what makes them main characters of this show. Well, guys, this was a very interesting episode of these two battling it out without even fighting. I mean, physically fighting. Mentally, this is on another level. But yeah, that's all I have for you today. I'm really excited about this show. Sorry for having to wait a month until I continued it, but man, amazing show. Amazing so far. It has everything I love. Everything I love. But yeah, that's all I have for you today, guys. I really enjoyed this episode. Hope you enjoyed the reaction, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys.